Hello everybody, I'm John Zidar. This is October 6th, Wednesday, and on behalf of PB Alerts, yeah, we've got those alerts you want, but we've got the training you really need. You're watching On the Top and Hot. What do I do here? I look for hot stocks on the OTC market that could run. Now, normally we were looking for runners the very next day, but things had changed. We got a new season here with the SEC yanking off a whole bunch of companies off the OTC markets for being late on financials. They couldn't be bought, they couldn't be sold. They weren't delisted, they were just put in timeout. And when they were coming back on, we were seeing some humongous gains. 1,000%, 3,000, 10,000, even 89,000% gains. And these weren't one-buy wonders. Lots of traders, lots of shares being moved. They were being traded up. But that season is gone. It's kind of like chickens and geese. We were eating a lot of chickens until the geese came in. We started eating some geese, but now they're gone. We're going to go back to chickens. Nothing wrong with chicken. So we're going to go jump over to TOS. Take a look at the list I created yesterday. Not impressed. This is why I see the geese are gone. It just didn't produce what it should have. And then we're going to go look at where I can find runners for tomorrow morning. I'll show you how I do that. Come on. So TOS, Thinkorswim, is where I do all of my charting, screening, scanning. I do all of that right here, and it's free. You can get it from TD Ameritrade. Just go sign up, get their account. You can trade with them if you want to, but you don't have to. You'll still get this because it's just a link that you download and install. Voila, you're good to go. Okay, what we've got going here is the list we're first going to look at. Not much to look at, folks. You can see it was all red today. Now, this is the geese leaving. They left a hell of a mess for us here. These were expert market plays waiting to come on the market. We've not got a whole lot of action. I mean, you can see they pretty much just went down and sideways. Haven't studied them to know why. Just know that we did not get what we wanted, so we aren't going to be looking for geese anymore. What I do now is I like to look for technical setups. Those were all catalysts based on one thing or another. These are going to be based up strictly on the charts. We're going to see a stock that has lots of momentum built up like this. I want to see that price going up. I want to see the volume climbing underneath it, right up against the end of the day where the bell rings. The only reason it stopped climbing was because the bell went off, not because people wanted to stop trading it. Down here, we want the MACD to look like a tsunami, big old wave coming up with the sand underneath. And on the bottom, the RSI, we would love to see fire. We would love to see it in the red. We are looking for momentum that is carrying over to the next day. When that bell rings today, there's a lot of shares still in the queue. Now, you can pull your orders off, but lots of people were eager. They'll leave their orders there, and the first thing that happens when the bell goes off tomorrow is those orders get sold, which causes the price to jump. Now, this can be a very quick play, folks, and I need you to pay attention here. I think it's important to watch the first minute at least. Watch the first minute. You may lose a big bounce out of it, but you may get a beautiful dip, and we need to know which direction it's going. Now, I've got 3 rules. The first rule, if this thing starts to fall once you get in it, I mean, not a dip. Dips are okay, but if it starts to fall, get the heck out. Hit your market order button and get out. Save your assets for tomorrow. Second rule, if you see it climbing, don't get greedy. 20% is always a great take. If you can get 40, 60, 80, 100, absolutely, try for it, folks. But if it starts pulling back, don't wait around. Hit that market order, get out, take your 20, 30, 40, 50. Now, it will fall fast when it starts to fall. So when you see it at 70 and hit your market, you may only get 47%. That can happen and most likely will, but you'll still be up. Last rule, and most importantly, plan these. Out at 10 or 10 a.m. I won't stay any longer because I've noticed at Fool's Hour, which used to be from 9:30 to 10:30, not to say you're a fool if you trade, but you can be easily fooled playing that time. It is now only up to 10 in the morning, and by 10:05, you can see the market hesitates in most stocks and it's waiting to decide what it's going to do. And I don't wait for that decision, and I get out. So I take my gains at 20% above, I take my gains at 10 o'clock in the morning, or I get out if it isn't working the way it's supposed to. Now, how I do this is I come over here and I do a scan. And I pull up all the stocks in the entire OTC market between certain price points. Now, I'm going to search today between 001 and $1. Now, they only show me 2,000 stocks at a time on here. And they'll go from the letter A down and from the letter Z up. And normally there'll be something right in the middle that I just can't reach. I can't get with this search. And I'm not quite sure how much we'll lose out of this. We'll see. But whatever it is, we're just going to have to deal with. Now, I like to put these in order of percentages. You can go volume. We are going to look at volume. Volume is very important. That is one of the criteria we will be using. Absolutely. However, percentages are what we are after. So you might as well hunt what you're after and make sure it has a nice clean coat on it. Now, we are just going to coast down through here. And while I'm doing this, I want you to pay attention as well. If you see a stock over there on the left that goes from this corner up to this corner, that is 5 days of growth. A solid 5 days. And if you see a low bubble and a high bubble, you know, it's just from point to point. You may want to consider that. You may want to go take a look at it, and you can pause the video and you can get the ticker right there. So as I'm going through here, if you see something that looks good and I don't see it, you take advantage of it. Okay. Ooh, that had a big bounce today, but it didn't end very well. Now, when I do this, there's a good solid bounce. Oh, God, where's the volume? Right there. Everything looks good here. I mean, it really does, except there's just no bloody volume right here. You see this 200. The 200 is the strongest data holding SMA that you're going to have, and it is coming up and around. Now, let's take a bigger picture over here, just so we can get a feel for this. Let's go to the 1 hour, 1 month. All right, that's a big jump. I want to see the entire picture. 4 hours, 6 months. All right, she does look like she has broken out of a low pattern that she's had down here. She broke down and was hanging down here a long time, came up, broke, and got deep, and now is making a third attempt to go up. I'm not quite sure. I've obviously been here before. Don't know why that's there, because that's the stimulus month. I pay little attention to it because that's when we got all the free money and everybody was throwing it into the market like it was a casino or a slot machine. So this was exaggerated. This is probably more normal. Do we think this is going to climb then? Should this be put on our list? Well, it is missing that volume. We really do need the volume there. Without it, there's just nothing sitting there. So no, we are not going to throw this on our list. Little volume, lots of red there. Boy, I do see some action going here today. It took some bounces. This may even have a low float, the way these bounces look. Not much there. Let's see. Let me take a jump down here. I'm trying not to get all the super duper, because you've got some low floats here that did large percentages, but if you don't have, I don't mean floats, I meant volume. They have low volume. I'm looking at this one. It has volume. How much volume did that come in? That was 280,000 shares just at the bell. In the middle of the day, they had over 1 million. Sideways. Let's take a bigger picture of this. Sometimes the bigger picture gives you a better feel for how a stock is moving. Okay, she has been on a serious downtrend. Let's zoom in just on that last section right over here. She hit a low bubble about, what was that, last week, last Thursday, Friday. It came right off of it. It did stagger sideways, but it took a huge bounce. Now, we don't know if there's any catalysts, any news, any filings. We don't know. But not only did it bounce yesterday, but it bounced again today. And it was a serious increase in the RSI, as you can see. Now the volume isn't anything like it was here, but this is sell-off volume. You had 8 hours of selling here, and then the bounce back. And this is when the buying's coming in. So this may be something to watch. It does show potential. Now let's get a new watch list up here. We will call this morning play. Morning play it is. And we're going to throw LLBO over to here. 50% gains today. And it looks like it had, gee whiz, who knows? That looks like about 80% gains yesterday. This is definitely one to watch. It's been on an upswing, and obviously the low bubbles had a lot to do with it, but do some DD. LLBO may have more going for it than just technicals. All right, let's get back to our scan. Where did my scan go? Holy cow. It wasn't supposed to take it away. That's not what it does. All right, where was I? We were down to 50%, so I should be able to find that right there. That's where we were at, Lobo. 500,000 shares there. Yeah, we do have green. Now, I'll bet you. Now, is this a high bubble? If that's a high bubble, that would be a pullback. I do want to see the volume climbing up, up, up. But if there was a high bubble and it pulled back, I'm not bothered by that. So let's come over here to the 5-minute chart. No, it was not a high bubble. The high bubble was a few days ago, at least on the 5 days. We did hit a low bubble here, and it bounced very hard off of that. There is a lot of volume there for this stock. You can see it doesn't get a lot of volume. But I wouldn't say that this was going to run tomorrow. It doesn't look like it has anything left over. So if it doesn't have anything left over, there's not a big morning bounce. So definitely not anything we're going to put on our list then. Not enough shares there. I do want to try to stick with something that has some share count. Boy, oh boy, it did hit a high bubble. I thought that looked like it did, but it broke through. It just started. It's 200, and it broke through that, which is not optimistic at all. There was some volume there on the buy. The volume on that was about 5,000. Yeah, so it wasn't a whole lot on this either. Everything is down. MACD is down. Not a candidate by any means. That had 2 million shares today. This one had 725 million shares and looks like a perfect candidate for what we are looking for, folks. We have the volume at the end. Now, I think that is going to be a high bubble. It isn't because it hit it early in the morning. So it really was a high. It did hit its high just a second time. And there it sits, waiting to go again. So we have volume just at the end of the day. It pushed. Now, is this a 111? Or a triple? It isn't. It's a 001, so it just came out of the triple zeros. The reason I noticed that is because picket fences are always normally a sign, up and down, up and down, up and down, that it's a 000 stock. These normally don't have a tendency of climbing. They bounce until they hit the 00s, and then they start to do some climbing. So because this has just broke the 00 mark, it does have some strong volume, and it ended the day at the high, and it shows all the ticks. We've got blue on top and a crossover, and the MACD just got over 60. Now, folks, I don't like anything under 60. I do want it to be as close to oversold as possible so that we can catch the overflow the next morning. So this does qualify with most of the boxes, so we're going to drag that over here too. All right, so that gives us 2. Let's get back to our scan. And I notice we're low now on our percentage gains. We are only at 37% right now. I may jump over to the other page, but we'll check out a few more here. We don't want to pass anything up. This one looks good. Again, it's had some strong volume, strong climb. Looks like for 2 days, actually. Let's come over here and look at the chart. It's been a few days. Bottom corner, low bubble. Top corner, high bubble. This is a nice steady growth. It's something to take notice of. We did have a strong break here. The price broke through the 200 and the 20, and it is now powering itself back up. I wouldn't call that a dip off of the high. I would call that a fall. Absolutely. You can see the MACD crashed below the signal line here, which is definitely negative power, and we are at mid 50s on the RSI. Not ideal. I can actually say it's not ideal. However, I do like the bowl shape we got going here, coming back up and swinging around. I'm going to put this on the list because it has been climbing 5 days, ended on a high, has got volume through the day. It is worthy of at least putting on the list. And you know, worst come to worst, if it doesn't do anything, what did we lose? Nothing, because this falls down to the bottom of the list and it's not going to do us any harm. But if our hunch might be right, we would miss out if we didn't put it there. So let's put it there. So what are we down to now? 34%. I was going to click them all, folks, but these low volume ones just don't make any sense. There just aren't going to be any shares there if there's no volume, right? So what is the point? There's 1 million shares there for MTE. Looks like it only had one. What is that? One sale today? Yes, one sale for 1,900,000 shares at 16 cents. Somebody bought into Mountain Energy today. It does have some big bounces. I mean, it goes from top to bottom, top to bottom, top to bottom. And its bottom is down here at 7 cents, and it's bouncing up to 16. I'm just curious. This looks like it might be like a low float sort of stock, and big bounces can make you money if you catch them on the right end. Whoa! Well, they got something going on, don't they? This is, that's more than intriguing. Wow! Wow! You know, folks, this is something, I see it's at a high. It's at a high. But it bounces down, it bounces back up, it bounces down. And what are these bounces? That's going from 8 cents to 13.5 cents. You're talking a 60% gain there in 4 hours. That's a 4-hour bounce. That's obviously a 75% gain. And you can see they were little bounces, bigger bounces, much bigger bounces. Now, I'm not saying to jump into this. This isn't even a morning play, folks, but I like this. It is at 68 RSI on the 4-hour. Let me come back down. Now, again, this don't have a lot of volume. It really doesn't. But when this drops, and if I back this out, let's go to 10 days so we can get just not enough information. That feels better. I like bars instead of dashes. So we are clear up here on a high. And its low is clear down there. So, it bounces down anywhere in here. I presume that it will at least come back up to about right there, which is at 14 cents. Now, it is climbing. It is climbing. It could easily go to 18, 22 cents. But I don't know anything about the stock, so I can't make subjective guesses like that. But I can look at if this falls anywhere down here, and it looks to me like right around this area here, 10 cents, 10 cents to 8 cents would be a beautiful buy, and anything lower is good. But again, do your homework. Make sure this thing has something legitimate. Make sure it's not in hot water. Go check out the float. I bet you this has a very low float. But I like these bounces. I like that absolute green we just saw on the 1-hour chart. That is great. So I'm going to throw that over here on the list because it entices me, and I am willing to bet this thing has got a very small float. All right, let's get back to our scan. Now, like I said, that only had 1,900. You know, I think I hit that one by accident. I think I was trying to hit the one underneath it. These are little itty bitty buttons, folks. We wouldn't have even seen that had I not hit it by accident. IFXY. We looked at this the other day, it seems to me. I see. Look at this. It's nice turn up. Looks good. I like that setup. We've got multiple bars going up, like in the picture I showed you. This one is not green. Want to bet that's a high bubble? It's come in on the 5-minute. Oh, I hate being wrong. It isn't a high bubble. There was a high bubble clear back here at 15 cents. It's at 11 cents right now. What does that big chart look like? She's at highs right now. She is definitely kicking highs right now. Obviously, something has taken off. It started back here, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. It started. and has been picking up momentum. And look at that volume. The volume is definitely explosive compared to everything else before it. It has been growing. It has been growing steadily. This is another one that interests me, and I can't call this a morning play per se. Let me come back down to that 5 minutes. I mean, it shows strength. I do like it. It does show everything. It's right at 60, my break point. The MACD is nice. That is flowing well. You can see we've got a beautiful arch. The 10 SMA, it is riding right on top of that. You can see the bars. It looks to be like the 20 had control of it back here, which is the middle SMA, and it passed it off to the 10 here, and it is now riding the 10 up. Nice even spacing on the SMAs, solid volume being continually thrown at it. I like this. This is going on the list. Now, I do remember this ticker. I don't remember much about it. I just ticked that away. IFXY, was it? IFXY. Let's see over here. I'm almost sure we looked at this a few days ago for maybe going current. That's all we've been looking at, stocks that were going current. So this may have just gone current, or it's on the cusp of going current. Maybe it just put in an attorney letter, something like that. Okay, let's see what we got. We're going to go down to MGTI. That's got 6 million shares, and it too, it's really close. It took a big bounce and went sideways. Now, I'm not worried about that sideways. That's a strength sign as far as I'm concerned. You started down here, right there, and it went all the way up to there, and somewhere around there would be where I would expect it to fall if it had any weakness, and if it had any strength, would stay right around this line. Anything above it shows even more strength. Anything below it, less strength. So this is looking good. It kept more than 50% of its gains on the day, and it looks like about 75%, and then got greedy and tried to take some more at the end of the day. Actually pushed its way right through that 200. It did nice. We've got to get the other SMAs up there, but the volume was very strong. Now, I do see it's red. That is concerning, but it is up above where it was riding. The volume was very strong, though I'm going to probably think that a lot of that is sell volume, but it may not be. Let's come in on the 1 minute. We can get a better feel of what was happening there. All right, so the very last minute itself, the small volume was sell. That hugest bar next to it was buy. And it wasn't a huge punch. I mean, it didn't kick the price up. There's a lot of accumulation going on there. So this actually shows some hidden potential sitting here right now. It was riding all day, accumulating a big spike at the end of the day with just a little bit of sell-off. I would watch this. It may not take off the first minute, so you would have time to catch this if it jumped the second or third minute. Yes, these are fast plays. So I'm going to put this over there. This actually looks to be the best one I have seen this evening. And this one got me a little excited. Could you tell? I like that large spike on the green bar. That looks really nice to me. Okay, let's come on down now. In case I didn't mention, the one box that did not tick, RSI. The RSI is not particularly looking good. It is mid-range. It is not pushing. But if volume comes in, if another spike of volume comes in the morning like that, it will have that RSI kicking up very quickly, and it will change like that. And we didn't put it on the list because it didn't tick one box. 3 out of 4 isn't bad. Or is that 2 out of 3? It works here too. Okay. We're down to 22%. Okay, 24 million shares. We'll take a look at it. Well, it definitely has the setups here. This is World Series, WSGF. They definitely had some good volume today. It tapered off through the day. Can't deny that. I want to look at this at the bigger chart. However, at the end of the day, not relatively speaking, we did have volume kicking up. The price was kicking up. It's not the high, but it doesn't have to be the highest part of the day. It just has to be strong at the end of the day. And we can see right there that it is at a decisive point. We have all 3 SMAs coming together on the 1 minute. the 10, the 20, and the 200. So this is a very decisive point. But looking at the technicals, you can get a hint for what sort of decision it's going to be. Mom going to say yes or no? Is she smiling or grimacing? Well, we are coming out of the red here, and it looks like the MACD is just about ready to do a crossover. That's supposition. We are low on the RSI, but again, it looks like it is hovering up. On the 5-minute, it looks a little more optimistic. Well, in a sense, we've got strong RSI the entire back half of the day. And this all started at about 2:30, 2:45. So whatever happened at 2:45. They saw it. It may have just been a filing. Filings come out before the press releases, though it could be a press release. And checking into it may tell you if there's a bigger catalyst at hand here that could shoot this up. But I see it has a few boxes ticked here. It does look strong. It's caught my attention, and that's what we're looking for. Stocks that jump out at you and catch your attention. So we're going to put that over there too. Now, do I want to go any further? Well, you know, there's nothing wrong with 20% gains. We got spoiled with those multi-1,000% gains. I mean, those aren't normal, but you don't want to miss them, but you can't keep looking for them. All right, we are now down to 20% less, and I'm not seeing anything that looks intriguing. See, the volume starts getting light down here too. iQuest, okay. This one has been in play for a long time. It had 17% gains today. And it does, oh boy, that is just, again, you've got another one here that has been consolidating through the day. This is at 52 cents. And now this has been in the news a lot. iQuesto, I believe iQuesto is working with Ally, which is supposedly making this electric motorcycle in a factory in Africa. Still yet to be verified. But when Questo joined Ally, it gave substantiality to what Ally was saying about their passenger motorcycle that they were going to use for boaties, which is like a taxi over there, and that's a big deal. Lots and lots and lots of them over there. So Questo's got a lot of other deals going on right now, and they've probably got more news going on right now. Obviously, Jump today, that Jump gave it 44 right in the morning. You got about 10%? No. Yeah, 10 to 20% gain right there. And then it even kicked up some more, and it tried to push some more again. It is under the 200. The other SMAs are trying to come up. It's a little hard to read, but we had some strong volume there. I want to come in and see what that volume exactly was on the 1 minute. All right. Let's see, we had a lot of volume for selling, brought the price down, and then the same volume pushed that price right back up. So this did end with the strong arm having the overhand on it. I'm going to throw this up there because I know the company. I know they have a lot of catalysts and news. I haven't looked at the news. We could do that. You know, we could go jumping back and forth, looking at news and stuff. But to tell you the truth, I would like to get you a good size list over here. We get ourselves, 10, 15 stocks that have a chance of running in the morning. You have a chance of catching one of them. We don't need all of them to run. You need a few of them to run, and you just need one of them to get into. And this will make it easy for us. So if I spend too much time running around trying to verify floats and catalysts, we're going to have a very small list, and that's going to minimize our chance for making money tomorrow. All right, I think I am now going to jump over. Okay, I can't. We got Nika down here, almost 1 billion shares. I got to look at Nika. Now, that was on our list the other day. Can't remember what the heck it was there for. It had a giant bounce all in one day. All in one day. And, well, you know, if you consider that a surge, if you just look at the top up here and the bottom down here and try to find the center, right about there is your center. So that tells you a lot about this stock. It has fallen halfway down below the weak part, and it is trying to climb up. So it's hit its floor, and it's working its way back up. Is it set up for us tomorrow? No. No. This isn't set up for us tomorrow by any means, but when you sell 1 billion shares and volume is what moves price, you got to take a look. I got to look at these ones here. Pura, I'm not sold on the company, but you don't have to believe in the company to grab a gain off of a chart technical. Okay, this is interesting. Now, this had 14 million shares today. Pegasus Telecom or Pegasus something, I can't see the full name. It does end strong. It was pushing up very hard here. Wasn't a heck of a lot of volume, but it's not used to doing a lot of volume, but it was a big push. The MACD is strong, and she just crossed into 64 RSI. So the volume is well. So I'm going to throw that up there, folks. Again, it doesn't hurt to have the stock on your list, but it could hurt not to. But of course, I'm not trying to throw junk up there. You know, we are looking for stocks that have something going for them. Okay, anything else? 187 million. Oh, right, I know this company too. The energy company. Seems energy companies are doing a banging on today. No, this is going to be really cheap, isn't it? It just came over from the triple zeros. So I bet if we look at this big chart, it's going to look like a lot of picket fences. Well, not from that angle. Let's go down to 1 month. Yeah, see? Lots of picket fences. And that's what it does. It'll bounce to one, bounce down. Bounce one, bounce down. You rarely get multiple levels at a time. Hit a high there, pulled back. Doesn't seem to want to stay there. I'll give you that. And buying at this price is a decent price. 002 is a very good price. But is it a runner for tomorrow? No. Not a runner for tomorrow, folks. All right, I am going to do our other page, bring that up. These will be totally different stocks, most likely. And look at that at the top, folks. 1,000,000%. Yes, 1,000,000%. Look over here. It was at 5 zeros in front of the 1. That is 1/1,000,000th of a cent. So when it hit a penny today, that was 1,000,000%, but that was only done with 16,000 shares. Most likely only one trade. Someone who didn't care what they paid. All right, let's see if we can find some here that have volume and make sense. See, you can't even see over here. There's just nothing on the charts. There's just not enough volume. Okay, now this one looks interesting. Is this, no, it's a different one. CYAP. Does that actually meet our criteria? Let's come down into the 5 minutes, see if we hit a high bubble there. We did. Okay, so this high bubble, I always expect a pullback from a high bubble. Not a drop, not a fall, just a pullback. You know, it's like touching something hot. You're not sure if it's too hot or if it's not. So you touch it and you touch it again. And that's kind of what a high bubble is. People touch it and touch it again. And this was touched, and they just want to make sure. It came down. It looks like it was testing the 10 and didn't even get that far. Didn't even get as down low as to the 10, and it is starting to push back up. Lots of volume at the end of the day. Now, agreed, it is not just going up like the way I prefer. We do have a strong MACD, and the RSI is at 66. So it does qualify in all of those ways. Now, let's just take a look in the back. See what she's capable of. Okay, I know that's going to be February, and it isn't. It isn't February. That's February. This is February, and when all the stimulus money was gone, all the other stocks fell. This one did not. This one took off. It took off with that stimulus money and even went higher. It has been at a high of 37 cents, and right now it is at a price of a penny. Sorry, folks, I just realized I was on the wrong side of the page hiding the tools. My bad. All right, like I was saying, this is at a penny right now. So all the way up to 37 cents would give you 374,000%. Now, no, I don't expect it to hit that. Just letting you know this penny is a good price. Think about that. You buy it at a penny and it only goes to 2 cents. You've doubled your money. 100% gains from a penny to 2 penny. 3 cents is 300%. 5 cents is 500%. Buying on the penny is just smart. You move 1 tick on the scale, you've doubled your money. If you buy on 4, you've got to go all the way to 5, 6, 7, 8, before you double your money. You buy on a penny, you've doubled your money, tripled your money. It just makes sense, folks. Buy as close to the penny or the 001 and profits gain so fast you'll be attracted and stuck to the OTC market too, just like me. Now let's back out on that 5-minute chart and let's get a view. All right, that does look pretty decent. Like I said, it's not a perfect setup, but we do have some strong MACD. The RSI has already crested in and is looking to actually be pushing back up from 66 to the oversold again. So I like this. We are going to take CVAP and put that over here. Not CV, CY. Boy, you know why I wear glasses now, don't you? And I am wearing them. All right, let's get back to our scan here, see what we can grab up. Looking for things with decent amount of share count. Cats. BNOW. Now this one looks interesting to me. What I notice immediately is that 200. That 200 has got a beautiful smooth swoop going to it right now, just carrying all of the stuff on top of it up. It looks great. You can see that let's zoom in on that the 10 SMA, you can see the distance here. It's used to being close, and every time it starts to get a little bit away from the 20, it pulls back. That got way far away, so it pulled back, but it did not crash. It was not falling. It was just putting itself back in place on top of the 20, and it's continuing on its way. Now this is curious. That is a huge 25% fall from 16.5 down to 12.5. Now, did that happen all in 5 minutes or 1 minute? I'm on the 1 minute chart here. That is all in 1 minute. It fell 25% and came back up. So that is a powerful sign. Even though it looks like a sell, it recovered all of that with that spike. So we have a crossover on the MACD. At least it appears to be wanting to start to do a crossover. See, it's real close. Real close. Tough to read that. This was confusing. Big fall, big climb. Sure, we're going sideways. You know, you just evened it all out. Same thing here. So we're at a decisive point. We are at 62 on the RSI. So I'm going to take BNOW and I'm going to toss that over here on our list too. Okay, let's move a little quicker here. Don't want to waste your time. LLBO. We've seen that one. So now we're getting back. That's probably a crossover because I see a lot of new ones here I haven't seen before. No, nothing. Trim. That could be a high bubble. This one may be worthy. This high right there. Let's come in and take a look and see if that's a high bubble. Sure is. I want to look at it on the 5 minute. Okay, so she hit that high of 25 cents. She was at 6 cents 3 days ago, 4 days ago. 6 cents, she's at 25 cents. So you're talking like 400% gain she's had, 100% a day it seems. She's been bouncing, going sideways, bouncing, going sideways. So she's not a surger. She just keeps taking rolls to get up the hill. I like that. You can see it's consistent. Boing, boing, all the way across the board. Looks like a pattern to me. So I like this pattern. I would put that on the list just for pattern's sake. So you see it did have a pullback. Let's see how close that did get to the minute. All right, so she hit it about 7-8 minutes before the hour. 1, 2, 3, 4 minutes of fall. So that was one bar. Boom. Back up. Boom. Fell again. Right down to this low. So that is a bad telltale sign right there. Can't lie. But that could be a bounce too. It could be setting up for a recovery because what do we got here? You know, deep down, back up. Deep down, back up. So this may be, looking at that on the 5 minute, may make more sense. I'm going to put this on the list because again, it doesn't hurt. And DREM may do us something just having it on the list. I know what it won't do if it's not on the list. Okay, I want a big one. I want something really hot. IFXI, we already saw that one. So Our list of 001 to $1, the list of A down and Z up has crossed over. So we're actually getting some of the stocks we've already seen before showing up here. This one had just about 300 million shares. Looks strong, but not strong enough. Again, you can see, but this is on a downtrend. And the trend is your friend. You know, that is to say you can count on it more likely than not. If it's going down for a long time, chances are it's going to continue, and vice versa. And this has had some fights to try to get back up, but it's not doing much, and they're not very big bounces. So we're just going to go on by this one. Fern at 89 million, and that looks good. It looks like it had a dip, and I'm not going to say it's because of a high bubble, because obviously a high is way back here. For the day, it was a high bubble, no doubt about it. And we have come off of this low, and look, it is turning up right now, folks. It is coming up. Now we are on the 5-minute. The MACD looks beautiful. That is arching. The only thing I don't like is the... Oh, let me get this out of there. This is going down. You can see that this is now starting to pull down, but this was a big drop. And that is a high bubble, right? I mean, for the day. I mean, if we came in on the 1 minute, I bet we see a high bubble there. Oh, just missed the high bubble. Just missed it for the day. Okay. It looks a bit squirrely over here, but we've seen a couple of these sort of charts today where they went right up, and I've got to figure, since I've seen this numerous times today, that something happened in the last 10 minutes, 15 minutes of the day that swept across the entire market. This isn't a stock or company thing, it's a sentiment thing. We have seen this where they have broke down across the 200 at the end of the day and started turning back up. So this fish hook looks like it could come back up. Look at that volume. That volume has been picking up very nicely. Now I got to agree, on the minute this looks horrible, and it is starting to dip right here, but we are at 67. The MACD is high. The price has been climbing, hit a high, pull back. That's normal. Lots of volume, and the 200 is supporting it. Going on our list, FERN. Where are we at now? Looking just for the big guys. AAGC, no. 4 million. Oh, geez, what a bounce. But where's the volume on that? I'm going to look at this. I don't see any volume. I got to get a bigger picture there. It jumped. There's got to be some volume there. Wow. So this jumped from 42, and we're talking 10 in front of it, 42 to 46, just like that. It was going sideways. Yeah, see, that's wanting to climb. Definitely wanting to climb. We got a strong MACD RSI on the 1 minute. On the 5 minute, it is strong. So it looks thinly traded, even though it had 4 million shares traded today. It took a big dip, hit that low bubble, and turned on a dime and just started going back up. It's got some huge gains. I got to see the big picture on this one to see what sort of gain she does. Wow. First thing you notice is that she's pretty much been getting more green. Even though she's falling, you can tell there's a lot more green there. There's that low bubble. There's that low bubble, and she is bouncing right off of it hard. Hard. Now, I don't expect that she's going to drop again. It would be nice if she would. It'd be great to get this at a better price. Her low was at 35, and she's hit 45. So you've got about, what, 30% there roughly. Do I expect more? Well, I see she has a lot of action. It is going sideways. It doesn't look great on the 4 hour. But back on the 1 minute, back on the 5 minute, which is where we're living in the moment, we only want to catch what was left over from the very end of the day tomorrow morning. That looks like there's something here to consider. So we're going to throw that up here too. So what does that give us now? Maybe 10. Maybe 10. And I might be able to let you have dinner tonight. IFUS. We'll do a few more here. We're down to 13%, folks. All right, I didn't realize we were that low on percentage gains. So we're going to call that a list. Let me pull out here and we'll pull the list up for you to see. Oh, geez, had a hair on my nose that entire time. You see me playing with it. All right, I'm going to scoot over here, let you have that list. Now, remember, this list is for the morning. This is not, we're not looking for stocks to come back on the market. We're not looking for a long play through the day or even the week. These are 30-minute plays. That's what I went out and got you right now. So by 10:05, you should be out of these if you're in them. Unless it looks like a dynamite stock that is growing. Read those technicals, read your charts. Just don't follow what I say. But at 10:05, take a serious look and see if it is going to dip. That is when most of the market takes a change of course. Fool's hour, now fool's half hour. If you get 20% or more, get out. Don't wait till 10. Grab your gains. It might go further. It might go fast. But folks, these things can move so quick that the gains you just saw and were thinking about are now gone. So take the gains. You'll like getting a gain every day, every day, every day, even if it's 20, 30% when you saw more on the table. There's no guarantee you could have got it. If it hits 80, hit that market, 80%, hit that market order and get out. You might only get 50%, but that's okay, right? We're done with you. All right, so that's how we go searching technicals. I look for stocks that have got strong percentages, lots of volume, and then see if they're set up at the end of the day. We'll come back tomorrow, and hopefully these run. They all look good, right? They all look like they have a chance. Remember, do your DD. See if there's some catalyst behind a couple of these. Hedge your bets. You may want to stay in after 10 if there's good news that just hasn't fully exploded, and you'll be on top of it. Remember, folks, the more you know, the more you grow. See ya.